And so to be at this point in the journey is such a blessing, but I will tell you, it is so uncomfortable. Like, it's so uncomfortable because I'm seeing myself in a new way and I'm feeling in a new. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to episode 9 of Dawn Diaries. Okay, so this is really just going to be a reflection today because honestly, I've really been in such a reflective mode about this whole entire journey, what it is that I want to do and what I want to really bring forth. And today I had a very, very powerful conversation with my mother that I just felt like, yeah, this is what we're going to talk about today because it's so helpful to me, and this really just pinpoints where I'm at in my life. So diving right in, before we dive in, actually, go ahead and make sure you like and subscribe the video, or make sure you like the video and subscribe to me, because I have so much more juicy content coming and I'm really looking forward to new drops. So if you really want to stay up to date with that and what it's like behind the music, behind my artistic journey, stay tuned. Let's dive right in. Okay, so the topic that I talked about with my mother today was essentially grit. And what does it take to really take a brand to the next level? And more specifically, we were talking about just work goals and ways that we can improve productivity, as you always should in business. You always need to reevaluate what is and is not working. So we had one of those meetings today, which was really awesome and very, very productive. And then we also just went and talked about my brand, how I'm branding myself. And she gave me some really helpful tips. And a major thing that has come up in this conversation, and also like really in my own reflections as of lately, is that I feel as if when I speak to people and even when I post videos on topics, I don't know if I'm getting my point across efficiently or if I take too long to get to the point, but I definitely feel as if my authority in what it is I say, what it is I talk about, I don't feel as if it's necessarily felt. And I often leave conversations realizing that people don't think I know as much as I do, or perhaps maybe there's a short attention span or lack of communication skills. I have no clue. But I'm like, it's a common consensus in many conversations that I've had with people where I feel as if when I am trying to get to a point, I either get interrupted before I can finally get there, and the other person will interject and like take the conversation either somewhere else, building upon their own point, or, you know, they'll get to the point where I'm trying to say in the first place, and it ends up being a situation where it's like they're teaching me something that I already knew, but then I find myself not wanting to say, well, I already know that, because I don't want to come across as like this person who can't receive constructive criticism or a know-it-all, you know? And I'm like, okay, a lot of these things I definitely feel as if have to do with me internally, and also it does have to do with the other person. But, you know, other people tend to be out of our control, right? So what is it that we can control? As my therapist would say, and as a lot of, you know, spiritual teachings will tell you, it's that it all starts with here. So I know for me, I'm like, okay, this is a beautiful time to find a way to just be a more effective communicator. And so that comes across to me with content, because as I'm branding myself as this artist, but also a spiritual being who works with VHD, bringing it back home to the brand, I feel as if this comes up where it's like, okay, how do I make, if this is something that's happening in conversation, I also feel as if it's translating over to content where perhaps maybe I do take too long to get to the point. And we're in an era of fast attention spans, especially with TikTok. You pretty much have like, what, 3 seconds to gain the attention of someone. And I want to find a way to do that without being gimmicky, without coming across looking like I'm chasing virality, because really it's marketing and it's branding, of course, and you definitely want your content to pop off so you can build a a community, an audience, people who will buy in, but also people who just resonate with what it is that you create in the world. I just want to be very balanced in all of that. So that's something that I'm really reflecting on, like what is that how, and talking to my mother earlier, we just talked about how to do all of this in such a seamless way that doesn't seem as if like one thing is competing with the other, because essentially it is promoting two brands. But it's possible, because how many entrepreneurs do we know that have multiple businesses that do it all, and are succeeding in it? So I'm really drawing on that energy where people can make it work, right? In this era, in this climate, in this economy, you really do have to have multiple things going on if you are doing music, because we know the state of the music industry. I do choose to be independent. So yeah, and like honestly, entrepreneurship is for me. Like that's what I am at the core, because I'm very independent, I'm very self-sufficient, and just learning how to really grow into those qualities and strengthen them to really take my brand and our brand in the business, whether it's my music or VHD, to the whole next level. So for those of you who don't know, I realize you might not have seen the episode where I really talk about what VHD is. It is a business owned by my mother and I. It's our purpose work and our mission work in the world. And it was started by my mother. Her name is Layla Delia. She's a spiritual author, writer, beautiful soul. And her first book, Vibrate Higher Daily, Live Your Power, is really what a lot of our online membership, which is Vibrate Higher Daily School, teaches upon and expands upon and beyond at this point, because it's been about 4 years, almost 5 years since the book came out. That is VHD. If you really want to learn more, I'm going to put the link below so you can go explore our membership, where we teach people how to be embodied conduits that can do it, which is my mother's term. And we help people really get to this empowered state of being, so that way they can go out into the world and do whatever it is that they are here to do. So that is VHD. And my goal is to put the spiritual element in my music. Like right now, I do have a spiritual song out, but it's very subtle. Love Is Mine Again, Dawn of Love. Love Is Mine Again is really a spiritual song, because it's about coming home to divine love within, not external, not looking for it from a man, a woman, a they, them. It's really all about, okay, I almost gave up on love because I wasn't finding it externally, and perhaps the love that I was looking for is within and coming from God, from source, okay? So that, is really the direction I'm going. Is all about connecting to God, building that relationship with God Most High, and also with yourself. And so like, how do you tie all of that together in content? It's like me really reintroducing myself to the world. And I reflected on this 2 episodes ago. I believe it was episode 7 or 6 actually. So yeah, because this is episode 9. I can't believe it. But I talked about how, or is it 8? No, it's 9. Last week was 8. I talked about how basically up until this point in my life, before this big change and this 50 millionth awakening and dark night of the soul I've had in my life, I basically it was like, okay, enough is enough to certain patterns. Every awakening that I've been through, which is multiple, and that's totally okay. It's actually normal. That means that you're on the path of growth and evolution. And so this last one hit different, because I was like, every pattern and habit that I was carrying throughout all of these, I just really stuck, that were like a lot more stubborn to get rid of and to heal through. I said enough is enough to them all this time. And so now that looks like me really feeling through all of this, because I was telling my mother earlier in our conversation, normally I haven't made it to this point in my desired change before. Meaning like, I would get to a point where like, I know what I have to do. I know the changes I have to make. I know exactly where I desire to go, but it would be like, okay, I get there, I'm doing good. And then all of a sudden it's like a crash and burn, where it's like, I'm going up the hill, and then I plateau. And then I actually would go back down the hill. And so for me, it's like now it's an upward progression up this mountain. And it's different for me because I don't think I've been here before where it's like, okay, I'm actually making effective and long lasting change in my life as far as patterns. And now it's forcing me to really sit with everything, to see myself in the rawest way. And a lot is coming up about myself that I'm learning in this season. And a lot of these things I knew on a surface level, but now it's like we're able to dive and penetrate deeper into what this actually is, the fact that it's still here, whatever pattern it is, whether it's anger, emotional patterns that I'm really working to heal through to be more in my equanimity, or, you know, eating habits, addictive habits, because everything as far as substances I was able to let go, except I do have caffeine on a daily basis because it helps me focus. But other than that, like, I was able to let it all go. Caffeine I'm working through. I'm really up in my B12. I'm working on supplementing, building up my nutritional health as well. Because I mean, I do eat pretty healthy, I think, but I think for the last month I've been comfort eating, honestly. So that means I'm having more carbs, more sugar, and yeah, like just a little fatty food. So it's like kind of out of my norm, but my body is actually just rejecting it. Like I have an eczema breakout on my neck, which tends to correlate to like dairy and meats, and I have been eating dairy and meats. So like I'm a flexitarian right now, but I'm just gonna go back vegan for like the third time, because I was like, maybe I'll just have meat once a year and, you know, I'll just go through for a period. But honestly, like my body does not really like it anymore, because I was vegan for so like about 3-4 years before coming back to eating meat, and I'm noticing a common theme of eczema and acne. So that's one thing I'm noticing about the food eating habits. It's a lot more sugars and all that kind of stuff, and it's a little harder for me to break because I have been like stress eating, because I've just been, you know, in school and doing a lot of things at once. And so it's my way of like comforting myself. And then yeah, I think that's really like the main thing. What else? What other habits? I feel as if, yeah, it's really just like the emotional aspect, the things that are coming up. And also like just past decisions that I'm really sitting with and facing now. Meaning like I'm not shaming myself, I'm being gracious with myself, but I'm also really seeing everything for what it is and what it was, and how I will never put myself in those situations again. And so to be at this point in the journey is such a blessing, but I will tell you, it is so uncomfortable. Like, it's so uncomfortable because I'm seeing myself in a new way, and I'm feeling in a new way, and I feel like I'm feeling everything that I didn't allow myself to feel before. And it's taking a lot of prayer, a lot of prayer. I haven't been on my consistent meditation path for like about a month, so I need to really get back into that because my routine changed. And so I know that working out and meditation need to be added back into the rotation, okay? Because those things are the things that really keep me in the heights, honestly, because I'm able to work out that energy physically in mind, body, and spirit. So yeah, to be here, and it's a blessing, like I said, and I can't complain because I see it. I see this part of my journey for what it is, and I'm grateful because I'm like, yeah, you know, we're powering through all of this, and I'm so ready and excited for what it's gonna look like to have all of this behind me. Meaning, I overcame, and now I'm you know, I'm on the other side of my healing in a sense of like, I'm reaping the benefits of this changed behavior. However, I'm patient because, like I said in the last episode, I'm really working on just being very present with where I am in the journey, and also just not fighting to strive every 5 seconds. Like it's just, we just have to be, you know, like I'm just being called to just be. And to me, that's what 5D is about. It's a state of being. It's not like this other, I mean, technically it could be considered another place you're going to, but it really is a state of being, mind, body, and spirit, because the body is the portal to whatever dimension, you know, like this is a technology. And so leaning into that this season too. You know, I'm looking forward to just really diving into that in my meditative spaces as well. So yeah, as far as bringing it back to the brand, honing it back in, all of this is connected because I feel as if when everything is flowing mind, body, spirit, right? Like it helps me create from a different space where I don't burn out. And I feel as if I reached a burnout season like recently, and that's why I'm just being very much more mindful about how present I really am in this journey. So yeah, I mean, that really was like the gist of the conversation, and we were able to really talk through a lot of uncomfortable things that we both need to grow and work on. And the beautiful part was is that we had each other in community to really workshop that out, you know, and all of it really just has to do with us being so ready and excited for the next level, right? But at the same time, the presence, you know, being present, being present, being present. And my mother is such a beautiful reflection to me of just whatever it is I need to hear. She's willing to tell me with love. And honestly, even when it is uncomfortable, I'm so grateful because it does help me grow. Like, even if it's uncomfortable in the moment and I don't want to hear it, the seed is planted and it blossoms eventually. And it always comes back to, yeah, she was right. So beyond grateful to just have her in my life for that reason, you know. And yeah, we're human, we're humaning, and that's really what it's all about. I'm not looking to be anything else but human in this lifetime, because that's what I obviously incarnated into this body to be. And I want to help each and every soul that I can and that I'm meant to help. And so really that's all that this whole entire artistry of mine is about. And I'm looking forward to putting out more and more music because this is going to touch different themes of life, right? I believe every aspect of life is this spiritual experience. And so everything is spiritual with intention and spiritually beneficial if you have the right intentions behind whatever art you create and you put out and birth into the world. So yeah, that is honestly where I am at mentally this week. I'm feeling so much better than I was like just for the past month, which is just like, okay, contractions, contractions, contractions. And I feel as if I'm still birthing. I'm still in the gestation phase almost, but you know what? Like I'm just grateful to be here because I'm doing the things, I'm doing the work, I'm taking the steps. And so another part of the conversation is that I need to show my Instagram way more love. I just feel as if like Instagram, I'm not as motivated to post on as TikTok or YouTube Reels, YouTube Shorts, I mean, because it's like, I don't know, but I'm going to push the needle on Instagram as well. So that will be something I do. And also my threads and Twitter as well. I'm going to post more on those too. I can show those more love. But honestly, yeah, like that was really just the convo. I'm looking forward to just building community and finding my audience more and more each day. Dawn of Love is growing and I'm very grateful. It just has a life of its own and it's getting to more and more people, and that's the goal. So yeah, that's it for today. I look forward to seeing you next week. Next week we'll do some fun creative stuff in our next episode. But other than that, I hope you all have an amazing week. Please, please, please take time for yourself to rest, to create, to experience joy, or to do whatever it is your soul is desiring. So I'm sending you all much love and I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment on this video if you really enjoyed it. And yeah, follow me on all social media platforms, India Isabella. I have it typed out, I believe, on this side of the screen or this side of the screen. And yeah, Dawn of Love, Love is Mine Again on all streaming platforms. Bye-bye.